Back with another episode of Council Bluffs Today. I am Todd Studer, and we welcome our good friends back into the studio. Cassy Lawrence, Dave Lawrence, Sail On and Fly High. And coming up this Thursday, this is an event that is happening at the same time as the farmers market down in Bayliss Park. But you guys have just kind of been known that and are attached to this, and this is kind of turned into your event now every year.
Yes, it is our event now. This is our fifth one. It is the Community Mental Health Celebration. It used to be under a different name and entity, and we were a part of the group, and we were the presenting sponsors. And then the last couple of years, it has been solely our event with a wonderful planning committee. And it's this Thursday, the 28th, in Bayliss Park, in conjunction with the farmers market. We're going to be on the west side. 4:30 to 7:30, and the mental health awareness walk is at 6:30.
Okay.
But we have about 25 different vendors. We call them Compass Crew to provide resources to our community for mental health. And we say that if you positively impact our community's mental health in any way, you should be on our Compass Crew.
And how, well, you said there's 25. I was about to ask, how's the response been? I can tell because.
Yeah. Nope. Registration's closed, but join next year because this year's goal was 25. We
may up it.
We hit that. And we may up it. Our goal is to have to rent another quadrant.
Well, and here too is that what I have seen in years past is it's very well attended.
It is. Over 500 people come through.
Yes. And it's not as if, look, there's farmers market bucks available. There's $5 in farmers market bucks available to folks that stop by. But it's not as if they're just picking that up and walking away.
No.
They go through and they visit the vendors and they talk with some of the different service providers about different things that are going on. And I think oftentimes they're finding out that there is help for specifically what it is that I'm dealing with or a family member's dealing with.
Yes.
And I didn't know.
Yes. Yeah. Dave had a great idea for every year we have a theme.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a great idea for this year's theme. So
this year's theme, so every year we have a theme, and last year it was take note of your mental health, and we gave out journaling notebooks.
I still have it.
Years past, we've done things like, get physical with your mental health. We've gave out Frisbees, all sorts of different themes. I just like a good theme. So this year is going to be Your Mind is a Masterpiece, and it integrates all the different arts. So theater, painting, drawing, photography, whatever. If it's an artistic ability or artistic outlet, we are encouraging you to come out and join us for some activities and things like that. But we've got Pace Center coming out to have a couple of different activities that they're going to be putting together. We got some local artists that are going to come out from hot shops across the river here, and then we also have a couple of artists that are going to come out and speak about how art has helped them with their mental health and encourage them to continue on.
We also have professional providers from different realms that are going to be speaking. Traditionally, we've done a panel. This year, we're switching it up a bit and having speakers every few minutes throughout the entire event, except for during the walk at 6:30. And the walk is very easy. It's just around Bayliss Park. So please join us for that. That's a big part.
Well, I want to touch on these different themes that you guys have had every year, because every single one of them, and I'm preaching to the choir. I know that you guys already know this, but every single one of those activities helps with mental health, whether it be this year with the arts. If you have something that you can focus on and put your hands on and create something, the end result is not what's important. It's the process.
Yes.
It's the sitting there and going through it. The end result, or whatever it is that you create, that's just what it is.
Right.
And it's a result, and it is evidence of the project that you did, but it itself is not the goal.
Right.
Exactly. It's about doing something that brings you joy and happiness and being a part of something. And so not every vendor there will have an activity geared towards Your Mind as a Masterpiece, and that is absolutely okay.
Yeah.
But our activities will be geared towards that, and we'll be having some speakers geared towards that. But then also the professional speakers, we have a PCP coming to talk about how you can first talk to your PCP about mental health. We have somebody from the new Methodist Jenny Edmondson Behavioral Mental Health Hospital talking about crisis care. And then we've got somebody from Therapy Agency talking about how to navigate that. And so we're sprinkling in different things too. So if you're not into the arts, it's still completely open
Right.
and come through. But we just like to have some fun with it. And like Dave said, we like a good theme and want to showcase and highlight what is in our community that can help your mental health in ways that you might not have thought about it.
Right. And that's the whole goal for me with the themes is that I want people to kind of relate, their day-to-day activities or their normal activities or their passions even on how is that bettering your mental health. Well, for me, like it's a distraction, it's a goal, it's a focus, it's a moment of joy that I get to experience when I get to do those types of projects or when I do something that I'm passionate about. Obviously, you guys know what I like bike riding, things like that. So I'm very much a physical activity guy, and that betters my mental health. So, and I know that that's not right for everyone, but I want to showcase all the different ways that we can integrate your mental health with the passions that are out there. So whether that, like I said, that's art, whether that's physical activity, whether that's, just, I mean, anything really, it could be that is a passion for you, that is driven, that keeps you focused. I mean, that's really the idea behind all the different themes is like, let's take a look as a whole and all the different things that you can potentially do. And you don't have to go necessarily to a therapy agency to get help for yourself. You can actually do it yourself a little bit. Obviously, if you're in crisis, or you're really dealing with some trauma, I would seriously encourage you to seek out professional help. However, on the day-to-day stuff, right? What keeps us going isn't necessarily those big moments where we're, seeking all those helps. Oftentimes, it's the little day-to-day activities. It's the grinding. It's the, hey, I don't have a lot of time today, but I have 10 minutes that I can dedicate to this project that I really enjoy doing, right? So that's really honestly for me where the themes come into play is I want people to really register that mental health doesn't have to be you're sitting on a couch inside of a therapy office talking about your life story and what's bothering you.
That it
could
only
be
impacts you for
it
1
only
hour a
impacts you
week.
for an hour, right? Mental health is something that we deal with every day, every moment, every second. And how do we talked about it right before this show. The only two things you can control is your attitude and your activity. Well, how do we help curb those attitudes and activities so they're positive, right? And you feel like you have really made a difference in your own personal mental health. So again, it's all about taking control of your own mental health and figuring out what is the right avenue that's going to bring you those joyous moments and what is the right avenue that's going to better your mental health. And whether that's with professional help or whether it's without, we want to show you that you can do it regardless.
Because it's a spectrum for everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
And it moves. Everybody's spectrum moves continuously. And so how can we incorporate all of that? And that is what our Compass Crew does. We have some really neat additions this year that I'm super excited about. We have some tried and true mental health resources that are always there. This year, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because our Compass Crew is growing. The people that Dave talked to last night or the other day at the farmer's market when he was handing out flyers were like, "Oh, we've been here before. We already had this on our calendar. We were so excited." And like we're like, "Oh my gosh, like this is great. This is so great." Like people are coming to talk about mental health,
Right.
to support each other in their mental health. Like that's huge. Our community needs that. Everybody needs that. And we're just really excited that we were blessed enough to be able to do this.
I have always looked at, you're talking about that spectrum. And this is the way that, in my mind, how I see it. I look at how we are feeling on any given day as a ruler, 1 inch to 12 inch. And at any point, good things happen and we slide up higher on the ruler. Bad things happen and we move backwards on the ruler. Now, where our mental health lies in what is our resting state? What is it that when things are neutral, neither good or bad, where do we fall on that ruler? Because if your resting state is low, meaning that you're struggling with depression or anxiety or whatever might be going on, and your resting state is low, that doesn't give you a lot of room
No.
to go past that. So that's where the crisis comes in. When you hit the end of that ruler, that's where the crisis comes in. And that's also why if you have something good happen in your life, but you're going through that, people will notice, because it's happened to me, you don't seem to respond as much as to what you don't get as excited as much. Well, I've moved just the same distance as someone else. It's just my starting point, my resting state was lower. So what you guys are talking about is moving that resting state.
Yes.
And that is, if you bring that up, then the highs mean more and the lows aren't as critical and damaging.
Yes.
Love that analogy.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is like when you're surrounded by your own thoughts, your own actions, what it is that puts you in a better mindset. And like you said, the resting state, right? I mean, we all have those moments where we have those peace and quiet moments where we're just sitting there and then the thoughts pop in, and it could be positive thoughts, it could be negative thoughts, or it can be neutral or indifferent, like you were saying. But where you land on that resting space, when you are there by yourself and all you have is your own thoughts and mechanisms, right? Are you leaning towards the positive and you're looking for some positive activities and things to better yourself and find those joyous moments? Or are you leaning more towards the negative, right? And are you, maybe considering some, or thinking about, negative thoughts and things like that? We're just trying to shift that way of thinking, that mindset a little bit, so that it's easier to manage those negative times, because everybody has them. It's not just like, oh, Todd or Dave or, when he sits there, he's depressed or what have you, when he's in his own mind. Everybody has those fleeting thoughts, whether they stick around or whether they're just short. Then this is just a way to help you manage those fleeting thoughts, manage those resting times, to help you kind of, like you said, curve to the positive, right?
And have so many different resources there for all spaces on that ruler.
Yeah.
And that's what we're really excited about, is people have grown to like this event and have heard about it and want to be a part of it and want to help our community's mental health. And that's, again, why I say, like, if you positively impact our community's mental health in any way, because there's so many different ways, you should be a part of our Compass crew. You'll get put on our website and be a resource listed there. And with the event, you did mention it, the first 500 people ages 2 and above get $5 in market bucks to spend that night.
And the vendors there are ready for it.
Yeah, they're excited. They're ready for it. We can partially do that due to our gold sponsor, Methodist Jenny Edmondson. So we're really excited for their support and sponsorship and collaboration with this event too.
Yeah, and the whole concept, the whole idea of bringing different resources, even though they may not even seem like they are in tune or in line with each other. Like, what does the PACE Center necessarily have to do with mental health, or necessarily have to do with, Methodist Jenny Edmondson Hospital, right? So we're bridging those gaps so people can kind of see, like, it doesn't have to say you're at a hospital, you're at a therapy agency to find some therapy, right? Therapy could be taking a walk in the park. But back to what Cass was saying is bringing all these different resources together. I preach it all the time. Rising tides floats all ships, right? If we can get everybody on board, we can get a big mass of people on board that are truly focused on bettering the mental health of our community. It does not matter what profession you're in, you're going to help your community raise the level and the vibe that they're bringing, and the focus on what is important to our community. So
We, most people know that I don't prepare interviews. I don't talk about, we don't sit down and go over a series of questions to ask. That's
No.
not how I do things.
Nope.
So you guys don't know that I'm about to bring this up. But you're well known now. Sail On and Fly High has been around in the community well enough now that
Yeah, 5 years now.
Yeah, the majority of the people know your story and your passion and your inspiration and the source of why it is that you do it over the loss of your son, Sailor. What I'm curious about is you two are so in line that did that exist earlier, or is this something that you found out about that, hey, this is a level, the connection that you two have achieved? Did you know that
Personally
connection
with each
existed
other?
before, or
Like with each other?
yes, because
Oh.
yeah,
Yes. I walked around the corner of a mall 20 some years ago and said, that's the man I'm going to marry.
Yeah.
And I was,
I locked eyes with her, and I didn't want to admit it at that point in time. However,
but you can look back on it
but
and
I
see
can
that
look
you
back
was
and
there.
and I've even told her that moment like stands out in my mind specifically as, I mean, it was like when we locked eyes, it was like a automatic connection, and like almost like a like electricity
Right.
flew through my body. Like I was like, I know, like I am connected to this person for some reason.
Well,
yeah.
and I want to I'm going to make the announcement here. You don't know I'm doing this either. That I'm getting married next month, and this woman is doing the ceremony. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Well, and thank you for being a part of it.
Well, thank you for the honor.
Yes, I've known,
But
but
she said something similar on our first date.
mm-hmm.
We were sitting across the table, and she said the word kindred spirits more than once,
Yeah,
and it didn't scare me.
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
settled into that.
Yeah.
And I'm such an idiot that I didn't kiss her that night. But
It's a good story.
yeah, it's true
Yeah.
because we're getting married in the park where that first kiss happened. So fortunately,
Awesome.
that happened. Otherwise, we'd all be gathering in a parking lot.
And that park was where we became a family.
Yeah.
So
It's all ties together. So.
does.
All
Yeah.
right, so very quickly, we're just about out of time. The mental health celebration coming up Thursday in Bayliss Park, running in conjunction and concurrently with the farmers market, going on from 4:30 to 7:30.
Yep.
Get there early. First 500 people are going to get that $5 in farmers market bucks.
And swag bags
And all of those things, and go around, see the vendors. Trust me, every single person walking around either is dealing with something themselves or has someone in their family. That's just how this
yes.
works.
And that there's something there for nearly everybody.
So
There
come
really
on out.
is.
I'm going to be there. You're going to see me on my phone because I've got a NAMI meeting. It's a board meeting I got to be on, but but I will be there anyway. That's
Well, we
where I'm doing
appreciate
it
your
from.
presence.
Great.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for watching this episode of Council Bluffs Today. Hit like, hit follow, hit share. And by doing that, we're just inputting information into the algorithm that says more people want to be able to see exactly what Cassy and Dave have been talking about today. It's a free way that you can help grow the program.
Yes.
My name is Todd Studer, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.